Hello class, this is Mr. Broussard. I'm sending this video for the last week of our beginning English course for the fall of 2020. Yes, I said that correctly. This is the last week. This course ends on Friday, early Friday morning. In fact, you only have one last thing left, and that is your final exam that is due at 7:59 a.m. on Friday, December the 4th. That is the lone work you have left to go in this course. Two of you have already turned the final in. Thank you both for getting that done. And hopefully the rest of you get it in and we'll do well and we'll pass the course with no problems. First thing I do want to bring up, not to start on downer, but there are two of you whose grades in the course, I won't say anything, obviously, that would be a massive violation of FERPA rights, but two of you have an average right now that is lower than a 60. Just to let you know, if your average is lower than a 60, you do not have a chance of passing this course. So my advice for you two students would be to focus on the other classes as much as possible to counter the failing grade that you're going to get in this course. There's no way around it. I'm just getting right now, and this goes for all of you. You should know this already because of the syllabus and because of the way I do things. No, there's no extra credit. No, there's no makeup work. Especially no extra credit ever. And the makeup work, the only time I allow anything to be made up is the very first composition at the beginning of the semester for this class and for Comp 1, and that's it. I don't do makeup work. I don't really believe in it, quite frankly, for beginning in the Comp 1 because my feeling is you're in college now and you shouldn't have that as an option. There are some professors that do allow for that option, and I do it for beginning, but only for the first paragraph, the first rhetorical paragraph. You have that option. And then in Comp 1, I do it for the first essay of that one, and that's it. I don't allow for any other work, and I don't allow for any course beyond Comp 1. But I sure would not do it last. It's amazing how many students think they're somehow being original by the very last week or second to last week of the course, all of a sudden begging and pleading for extra credit work and to redo this assignment or that assignment, like you're the first students who ever asked us that, and like we would actually allow that anyways. It kind of makes me laugh in many ways, but then it's also a waste of my time because although it used to be a waste of my time, now I just say no and then we move on because you're not getting that second chance. So for those two students who have less than a 60 average, focus on your other classes, do as well as you can. One of you has barely above a 60 average. I've plugged in to see if you get 100 on this final, would you pass the course? Barely. You would round up enough to earn the C in this course. Because a reminder to all of you, you need at least a C average in this course to pass it. You cannot. There is no such thing as a D grade in this course. Anything officially below a 70 is an F. But if you've not had any issues with academic integrity, I will round up if you had a 68.5 or somewhere around that area. I will round up, assuming there has never been an issue with academic integrity. If there are, then no, you don't get a round up because you don't deserve it. But only two of you does that apply to. One of you, again, is barely over 60. You have a chance of passing, but you've got to knock this final out of the park. And when I say 100, you must have 100. Some of you are in the 60s ranges. You may not need exactly 100, but you're going to need something pretty high to make sure to pass this course. And then some of you on the opposite end. Some of you are passing, but please take this final seriously. Don't freak out about it, but do take it seriously. Because the way this class works is, if your overall average going into this final is not at least a 68.5, and you fail the final, you fail the course. You're out. And the reason is I'm actually being nicer about that than I normally would, because normally, if you had less than a 68.5 average in this course going into the final, I wouldn't let you take the final. You would have failed the course outright. But due to the circumstances of this semester, I'm bending the rules a little bit just to make sure that you have that opportunity, considering everything. That, okay, you're not passing right now, but you have the opportunity. Because, yeah, if you've got a 68.4 average, you're not passing this course right now. And traditionally, if you had that or lower, you wouldn't be allowed to take the final. You would just fail the course. But I'm being nice and allowing you this, having the opportunity to pick it up your grade and get you to passing. But with that also comes the realism. Again, that one of you has a 60.48, something like that. You have to have 100. There's no other option. You get a 99, you still fail in the course. You have to have 100 just to get to where I can round you up. Some of you are a little higher, so you'll need those higher grades just to round you up. And if you don't get there, and that's where you were before, you fail the course. And you know, that's the grade you earned. The two of you who have less than 60, you fail the course. There's no way around it because there's nothing you could do. You could nail 100 on this final, and you'd still fail the course. That's why I'm telling you, focus on your other classes to counter the F you're getting here. And then the rest of you, however, if your average is at least a 6.85 going into the final, and then you fail the final, you don't fail the course because technically you would have been eligible to take the final anyways. And due to the rules we have in developmental studies, what happens there is you end up with an incomplete for the course. So if you were passing going into the final, 68.5, and you don't earn at least a 6.85 on the final itself, you don't fail the course, but you have an incomplete. You then have until the end of next semester to earn at least a 6.85 on this final exam. So that basically you have until the end of April to then pass this final to get that in. My advice, of course, would be to redo it over your Christmas break and try to get it to me that first or second week of January, because in doing that, and assuming you pass, then you're not behind in any classes. You can go straight into 1114 on January the 11th. If you've got everything passed, and then I do that change of grade form, get that into them, then that will then open you up to take English 1114. But that takes all that process, and then you have to get this done and have an essay, final exam essay that actually does pass with at least a 6.85. But you do have the entirety of next semester to get it done. But what that means is you can't go into 1114, English 1114 next semester. You will have to either hope that you can find a late start, or you'll have to go and take either the main semester or the summer comp 1114. So that puts you a little behind. So that's in a sense your punishment for not getting it done when you should have. But I want to make sure that you were aware of that. Now, you're passing the course right now, and then you pass the final, well, you pass the class. If you're in that 60s range and you really knock it out of the park and you're passing, and you do so well in the final that it pushes you up to at least a 6.85, you'll pass the class and move on to comp 1, the English 1114. Now, note how I'm saying 1114. That's a different course than the 1113. That's your general comp 1. Because you're on a different track, because you had to do a developmental studies first, your track is this course, 0114, and then into a English 1114, which is a specialty mixture of the old, what we used to have called intermediate English, and a regular comp 1. This allows you to get all of the skills you would have gotten in an intermediate class through more one-on-one time with the instructor, through more lab time, without having to take a separate class. Because it used to be you had to take a beginning, then an intermediate, then 1113. So basically they combined the intermediate and the old 1113 to make a 1114. You have to sign up for that. You are on a different track. You are on a track where you must take a 1114. If you tried registering for a 1113, the computer didn't let you in because you're not on that track. So with that, you are limited as far as the amounts and types of classes that you can take. You don't have the full freedom of the 1113s. So I just want to make sure that you're aware of that. And part of that includes when certain courses do start. So be aware of that when it comes to all this. In particular, if you're kind of in that gray area for this course and you might have to register the first, second week of January, you might get lucky for January 11. You might have to wait till the day after Martin Luther King, or you might have to wait till a second 8 weeks if we even offer that. So, or you might have to wait till the main semester of the summer. So if you have to make this up, hopefully that won't be an issue. Hopefully all of you who are borderline do so well in this final that it pushes you over and there's no need for any of that. Actually, if you're 60s and you don't pass this final, then, or it doesn't pass and make you end up with a 68th and you fail the course anyways. But if you're one of those people who are in maybe the 70s and you don't do as hot on this, you do have that option. But, you know, it may be more, it may take you longer to get to where you need to go as far as all of your English courses. So I just want you to be aware of that. And then again, to remind you, again, 2 of you already have it in, so thank you to both of you. And if you Let me open this up just to make sure. Two of you are already in. And just a reminder, the final exam in this course is a narrative essay. So make sure you write a narrative essay. You've already been assigned the chapters both dealing long ago, actually, dealing with both the narrative rhetorical mode, but also the chapters that deal with writing essays as opposed to writing the individual rhetorical paragraphs and noting the structure of having a thesis paragraph, at least 3 body paragraphs, having including paragraph, having each paragraph have at least 5 strong sentences and at least 4 full lines of text, including the intention, having an MLA 8th edition style, header, page header, title, and structure. All those things are all the same. We went over those probably a month ago, actually, or more than a month ago, and you've had all this time to get this in, so now it's time to get this all done for this course. Let me look just to make sure. Okay, cool. I just wanted to kind of look just to make sure this class doesn't have anybody with a double academic integrity violation, because those students automatically fail the course outright. I just wanted to make sure. So yes, there. So 2 of you are already in. 2 of you, I would highly recommend don't worry about it because you're not going to pass anyways the course. So the rest of you, there's about 11 of you. You do have until the end of this semester or this class, which is Friday, this coming Friday, 7:59 a.m. on Friday is when your final exam in this course will be due, and it will be your narrative rhetorical mode essay. And again, it will be an essay, at least with the parameters as I noted before. There won't be a word count. Because I'm really grading on structure, sentences, structure, paragraphs. Did you meet the minimum requirements on that? And the content as well, obviously. Did you do a narrative rhetorical? Basically, tell a story. Again, just a reminder, you're telling a story. Do note that there must be dialogue and at least 5 strong lines of dialogue. And I mean strong, not, hi, how are you? I'm well. What about you? I'm great. And that be, technically you've done 5 sentences there, but there's no strength to that. It needs to be a strong dialogue back and forth between at least 2 characters. So make sure you've done that as well. Again, it is due December the 4th at 7:59 a.m. And the reason being, I'm here until 11. So that gives me enough time to grade all these and then plug the numbers in, plug the letters in, save what I need to save, and then to close up the class. Because again, this course ends on Friday. So just make sure you're aware of that. And note when this is due. 7:59 a.m. A.m. means morning. So a minute before 8 in the morning, I would even say 2 minutes before 8 in the morning, because at 7:59 it shuts it out completely. I wouldn't wait till that time anyways. What I would do is get it done during this week and have it done no later than when you go to bed on Thursday night, and turned in no later than when you go to bed on Thursday night. But I would highly recommend you get it done earlier for no other reason. If there happen to be any technology issues on your end, this gives you the time to go and try to find somewhere else to turn this in, because this course ends on Friday. If you give me some sad sack story on Friday, well, if it's after 11 o'clock, or even really be honest, 10:45 in the morning, I'm not going to be here to read it anyways. So I'll get that the following Monday and basically said, why did you wait till the last minute? Because I'm already getting that with some students begging me for makeup work, students begging me to have extra credit, when I made it very clear that I don't do either of those things. Never when it comes to the extra credit and the makeup. I only allow, again, only in this class in Comp 1 and only on the very first composition, official rhetorical mode compositions for either. And again, the begging and the pleading coming the last week, second to last week or third to last week of the course, which is all 3 of mine. I'm going to beg, at least beg early in the year. Probably still wouldn't help you, but begging at the last minute, hoping I'm going to be nice. If you know me longer than 5 seconds, you know that's not going to happen. So please be aware of when things are due. Be aware of what I'm asking of you. If you're not totally clear of what I'm asking of you, by all means, email me, and I will answer those emails during my future office hours times. But of course, I'm seeing this video now. So basically the next 2 days of office hours, you have 2 days of my regular office hours for me to reply and respond. If you send me an email after Thursday afternoon, I'm not going to get it till this thing's due, and it won't help you any. So ask any and all questions you need to ask between now and Thursday. I'd say no later than 3 o'clock in the afternoon to get whatever answers you need, because at that point, you're on your own. So that is it as far as the course. This is the last video of the course, so I will also say, as much as I've been hard ass for the first 15 minutes of this, I would say I hope that each of you did get something out of this course. I know it's different considering it's all online. I mean, these are all online courses anyways. They would be normal that way. But this semester, since we're not having as many physical classes as we normally would, this might be a completely different world for a lot of people. People who are more used to having the physical classes. And I understand the issues that may come from all that. I think for the most part, and having looked at many of your grades, even right now, y'all have come through this pretty nicely, actually, if you think about it, considering all of the struggles that you could have had. I mean, I'm just, I have varying degrees of grades. I have a lot of A's, I'm seeing a lot of B's, I'm seeing a lot of C. Actually, it's just kind of eyeballing this. It's a nice little mixture of grades, A's, B's, C's, D's. Although, again, there aren't any D's, so I guess nice mixture of F's too. But F's that would have been D's had there been a D grade, so you have the ability to salvage them. If it's a completely earned F, again, that's 2 of you right now. Both of you know, again, as I said before, you can't pass the course. But again, a nice mixture of grades. So I'd say, particularly for a beginning course, y'all done pretty well. So you should feel good about that you put forth the work and the effort, and considering all of the craziness of this semester, you should feel really good about yourselves. But it doesn't mean you rest on your laurels now. My advice for this week, next week, and the next, however long you have classes, is get across that finish line. Don't start celebrating too early. Don't spike the football on the 2. Get through all of your classes. Don't start taking it easy until it's all done. Then take it easy as you want, because you'll have a nice solid break afterwards. But get through this class, get through all of your classes before you start easing off. And then again, enjoy yourself afterwards. Enjoy yourself however you see fit. But get through everything. Don't ease off to the end. It's usually not an issue in the fall. Usually that issue comes in the spring a lot more, simply because of some of you were seniors last year, so the senioritis creeps in particular with the weather when it starts improving in April. And I understand, absolutely, it feels so nice out, and you million other things you'd rather be doing than be in class. So I understand that. Not as bad in the winter, simply because you have more of an academic mindset, and quite frankly, as the weather just turned cold yesterday, you kind of want to be more inside it, to deal with things anyway. So keep up the good work. Get across the finish line, get through all of your courses, and then relax and enjoy yourself. Get through all your courses, particularly this one. And for the 11 of you who have yet to turn in your final exam narrative essay, get that done before and turned in to the right Dropbox, in the right format, and write everything no later than when you go to bed on Thursday night, but earlier. It would be nice as well. I hope you all enjoyed this class. I hope you got a lot out of this class. I hope it helps you bridge that gap of what you need, what you may have needed, and what you will need when it comes to Comp 1, that you have those skills now, that you have that ability. So when you do take 1114, whether it be in the spring or whenever you take it, it will not be, it will be a lot easier for you than it would have been if you'd gone straight into one, that you have gain those skills that get you now to do as well as you can in this course. Whether you have future English courses beyond it, or whether this is the last one you ever take, that you have those skills necessary. So I hope that you'll be able to get that. And if you weren't, then that you will get those in that Comp 1 course, whether it's one of my courses or one of the other instructors here. So again, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you continue to do well. Again, keep through with all of your classes until the end of the semester. And again, thank you for being my students, and I hope you did get out of this class what you needed. And since there will be no more videos, get through your finals and then enjoy your break.